Hi there.
Hi, now, Ian, welcome today.
Thanks, Terry.
Just give us a little bit of background about who you are, who you are,
Still am, I think.
and what brings you to here today.
Okay, Ian Barnes. I'm a real estate agent in the south of the river. I was recommended to yourself through a very good friend of mine, someone I'd known for well over 30 years, a trusted mate. And he wasn't so much trying to get me to do this, but shared with me an experience for himself. He came to see you regarding some challenges that he wanted to sort out, and that was very successful. Now, when he spoke to me, I was a little bit sceptical, and I can be a bit of a skeptic around things that might be considered alternative therapies. Would that be an appropriate term for what you do, Terry?
Yeah, it's not mainstream, so it is alternative.
And he said, I didn't want...
Because he's a lawyer, isn't he?
He's a lawyer, yeah, very successful. And I considered myself a reasonably intelligent, somewhat successful person in my life, in business and the like, done well in sales. But what I found had happened to me was some stuff was going on in my life. My father was ill and eventually passed away. I'd hit the big magical 5-0. I had some challenges around that, I think, mentally, and a couple of things going on in my life and my business. And I found myself, intellectually I was okay, but I just found myself, I didn't have the mojo that I wanted. I didn't have the ability to perform quite at the levels that I was used to over my life. And I read a lot of books, and people are always good at telling me what I need to do, and I don't like that. I don't like other people saying, you need to do. And I just found that, and I didn't want to sit in a chair and someone asked me a bunch of psychobabble about, my upbringing, and I didn't want therapy, and I didn't want to be fixed. Does that make sense? And I didn't want to be, quote unquote, screwed up, which I'm not. And wasn't. But what he said was, you just come along and you see this lady, Terry, and she's lovely, and he told me all about you, and you sit in this chair, one of these I think it was, and you stick these things on your head, and you hear this bit of background music, which we actually call dolphin music. I call it, these are my DAF sessions, dolphin arty farty sessions. So I just wrote in my diary, DAF session. Now I'm sorry about that, I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I haven't heard it.
But listening to the pounding of the waves and little dolphins and all that going, I thought, this is just weird. And I was really sceptical, but Bernard just said, look, just go along and see how you go. The first session I think was free, so I had nothing to lose. But what I loved about that first session was that you asked me a series of questions about how I was feeling about different things, and it wasn't confronting. I didn't have to sit there and start to go into depth about personal stuff or whatever. But what I found out at the end of that assessment was that I was assessed that I was my brain was burnt out. And what I loved about learning that is that what you said to me was it was absolutely normal and perfectly logical that my brain would have been at that stage burnt out based on what I'd been through. And there was actually nothing wrong with me. And so what the brain was doing, it was protecting me. And so my little bit of ability to get up and go and fire at my best levels was influenced by the fact the brain was burnt out. And I thought, wow, that's great. I'm okay. I'm normal. I actually really had a revelation that there's nothing wrong with me at all. Went to those first few sessions. I found some immediate positive effect. Others around me. My wife noticed some positive changes. I didn't have to ask her because she subsequently came and saw you and has done the same program that I did, the first 7 sessions. Yep. But she asked me about it, so she must have seen some changes in me. And then one of the ladies that I work with at the office asked me about it. And she was really excited. I don't know why, and then she wanted to come and do it. And my daughter is now talking about coming and doing the same thing. But I was a little bit of an overachiever, Terry, and so I actually asked you to sign up. I did the Unstoppable You program and jumped in and did a whole bunch of different things with you. And so how long have we been working together now?
Well, we started, I don't know when the diary was, but I think it was actually in May that I came down and sat with you and explained to you about my Unstoppable You.
Yeah, 10 sessions in 10 days, very full on. And look, I just want to say this, I'm But Bernard, my mate, he's probably one of the smartest guys that I know. And the great thing about he didn't try to sell it to me. He wasn't trying to get me to do anything, because that wouldn't have worked. If he had have tried to sell it to me and tell me what I should do, I wouldn't want to do it. But he told me the positive influence it had for him. And I said, you know what, I'll give that a go. I was at a stage where I was open to try something new. And I sort of figured I got nothing to lose. Intellectually, I wasn't able to get myself back to my best. I wasn't able to do it through willpower. I wasn't able to do it through experts telling me what I needed to do.
Because you were going to seminars and everything like that.
I've done all the seminars, you name them, I've done it. I spent $500 gazillion over my life on all the gurus. But look, this was good. It was non-confronting. I was able to sit here, you did your session for an hour a week or whatever it was. And then I had the program where I followed up in the evenings when I was, and that was really, really good. But I found it cleared a lot of the clutter in my mind, right? And so what I was going through was some emotional highs and lows as stuff gets in the way with daily life. I found that the lows for me are almost non-existent now. So does that make sense? I found that some of the negative thinking that I was experiencing, that was vanishing from my thinking, my thoughts. It doesn't so much motivate me, but I think, and I don't understand the mechanics or the science behind what you do. Haven't got a clue. Don't care. Don't need to understand how an aeroplane works to fly from here to Sydney. Just got to have faith in the process that the guys that are doing it know what they're doing. And guess what? Once you've done it and you did it safely a few times, you just take it for granted. It's like the brakes in your car. You don't have to understand how they work. You just got to know when you put the foot down, it stops you. So it's a bit like that with you. I don't understand it. I don't need to. But I have noticed an enormous immediate impact. I've noticed results at work. I've noticed comments from people around me, and I've noticed in myself. Not so much that you've changed me, but I'm back to close to what I was at my best. Does that make sense?
Yep,
Some of the negativity, some of the anchors, some of the drag that was going on, if you want to use an aviation term.
And the sabotaging patterns.
Yes, and the negative thoughts, self-sabotaging patterns. Some of that, which I've since learned is the byproduct of my brain having been burnt out. I'm not thinking, feeling any of that. It's like a little bit of water off a duck's back now, which is more like the normal and real me again. And your program is for anyone, because we all go through stuff, right? And it wasn't because I was, I'm usually, others might see in some areas of my life, a high achiever. And so it just proves the point that anyone can go through a stage where you need to fine-tune and work on yourself. And you don't have all the answers by all the traditional methods, you know, whether it's reading books or seminars or whatever. It's funny about the brain, Terry. If you own a nice motor car, you take it down to the dealership down there and they charge you thousands of dollars to fine-tune it. You put the expensive petrol in there and you do oil changes and all the rest. But this thing here called the brain, most of us take it for granted. And so I regard what you do, it's almost like a tune-up and service of the brain.
It is actually, you know, it's more important to work on your brain than what it is to work on your computer or car. Yeah.
And so, look, I'm an advocate. You know that I've committed to and completed a number of your programs. My daughter's about to do it. One of my team members at my company is doing it right now. My wife's done it, and my best mate was the guy who got. Now that's the best recommendation to me. Am I skeptical? Yeah, sure. But you know what? The investment is so modest. I figured that the downside, even if it didn't work, so what? You know. But the upside and what you were promising was so positive. It was not worth me risking not doing it. If that makes sense.
Did we achieve the things that? When I sat down with you and said, this is what I can help you do.
Look, you promised a lot. Yeah. To be honest, that's the only thing you've got to be careful is that if you're doing this is that your expectations are pretty high. Yeah. But to be fair, you showed me the survey form that I filled in when I started. Yeah. And then you reassessed me a few weeks later, a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah. And the progress of the shift from some of my thinking then to even a month or so later, it was staggering. It was a massive shift. Now you can't turn the Titanic around, so to speak. You've heard the story of the Titanic. In 100 metres it takes because of the momentum. So you can't necessarily shift everything in a week.
No.
But we had a staggering, monumental increase in my thinking and psychology and mindset in a very, very short period of time. And so sometimes you forget where you were.
That's right.
That's why I think it was fantastic that we on that first session we mapped that. And so and then you asked me, don't know how long it was, a month or so later, a couple of months later, and as I said, the progress was significant. It's undeniable that it was a significant progress, massive progress.
So tell me, what engagement did you have to put in to actually get the changes?
Oh, Terry, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to say this. I had to sit on my not so little derriere here, in your comfortable chair. You turn the lights off, stick the headphones on, and listen to some music for 45 minutes to an hour. Whilst you were doing your thing in the background, I'm conscious of your presence. I can hear you subconsciously, but I can't hear what you're saying. But whatever the system that you use, basically you're doing that, and I just have a rest. Sometimes I fall asleep. That's it.
And
no homework, no notes, no confessing, no bearing my soul.
No sitting 3-4 days in a seminar?
No taking notes, no reviewing notes, no watching videos. You did suggest to me, and I have been doing it, when I go to bed at night, just play a little USB stick. Stuck it onto my iPhone. I listen to that at the lowest possible volume, so even if my wife's beside me, she can't really hear it, and I go to sleep and I do that, and that's it. So embarrassingly nothing, embarrassingly little. That's why I don't take any real credit for the results, and if you're sitting there and you're sceptical, it might seem too good to be true, but I'm living proof that where I was at and some quite extremes of low negative thinking about myself at some stages, and I learnt that it wasn't because I was a negative person, it wasn't because I was sick, it was because my brain at that stage was burnt out. I also learnt that was perfectly normal, understandable, and to be honest, expected. And my brain needed to be, what's the term that you use, Terry? Is it reprogramming?
Your blueprint needs to change, and also your brain needs to heal. Yeah,
and I feel that if we're not 100%, we're well on the, we're right up in the high 80s or 90s of where I'm going to be. But I mean, everyone in life is a constant work in progress. But I was at my lowest. I was quite low, and I'm not used to being there, and I didn't like being there. And that can be a downward spiral. Sometimes when you're down and you're not used to being down, it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It can be down. What's the old Alice in Wonderland? Following down the rabbit hole, you can get down on yourself when you're not at your best.
And don't you think it's hard to generate good business when you're down?
Oh, it's impossible. I'm in the business of sales. Sales is all about your positivity and your attitude and all the rest. You can still make sales if you're a good operator, even in a bad way, but you're way below your best. It's like an AFL football team that, if you're a Hawthorn, they can win games even if they don't play a good game. But to be at their best and to win well and to always be, what's the word, maximising your opportunities, you have to be right in here.
So have you found it's actually generating business today is much easier?
There's no doubt about that, Terry, that when you're in a good space, you're probably going to chase the business better.
Yep.
You're probably going to attract more business. You're probably going to have a better aura, a better disposition.
Persona, yeah.
Persona, thank you, that's the word I was after. You're probably going to look, feel and act like a winner more.
Yeah.
So look, everything in life I believe is cause and effect. And so if one thing I've spent my whole life trying to develop my skills and all the rest, and I probably underestimated and didn't understand the power of the brain. And the brain is basically the computer that runs the whole thing. And the brain is almost, it knows if your body is, if you're going through stresses in your life, and everyone has them, whether it's illness or business or, other things going on around you, your brain will compensate, and it'll do what it needs to do to protect you. And that's, I think, what happened to me. You know, you don't consciously realise what's going on. Yeah, and I'm just grateful that my mate thought enough of me to mention this to me. He wasn't trying to get me to do it. He had no vested interest in it. He cared enough about me to say, well, look, this is what I did. It helped me, and here I am.
So would you recommend the Unstoppable You to people in sales, business?
Definitely not.
That's okay.
Look, of course I would. The funny thing is, Terry, I've done Tony Robbins events, and you know, I've been to some of these things where you jump on a plane, or you go and hear some guru charge you $1,000, or they'll charge you, you know, sometimes more than that. The front seats, you pay thousands of dollars. And I've been to events, and I'm not saying this to be a smart aleck, I'm just letting you know how committed I have been in my life to constant and never-ending improvement. I've been to some events that were $10,000 for a ticket in Las Vegas to hear, as I said, some of the gurus. And don't get me wrong, they're all good. And I do believe you have to invest in yourself. But in any form of sales or business, you always need an edge. And so if you owned a high-performance Ferrari, and let's say that in business that's you are that high-performance Ferrari, your subconscious and your mindset, all of that is the high-performance vehicle. You wouldn't question about spending $5,000 or $10,000 on a service if that's what it required to keep it at peak tip-top condition. And yet a lot of us don't do that on ourselves. So we need the time for the retreats, we need the books, we need the programs, and we need whatever we need to do to keep, so the answer is undoubtedly. And you know, it's difficult to explain this to somebody because it doesn't even make sense what you do, does it?
No, it's not logical. It's definitely not logical. You come in and all of a sudden you actually get a sleep every day for 10 days, you walk out and your life improves dramatically.
Yes, and it's not only for people that you might think, oh, I'm fine, Ian, I don't need that rubbish because I'm doing okay. And that's what I thought. And logically and intellectually I was, and other people from the outside that would look in and say, well, you're doing great, you're a success. And all of that's probably true, but I felt something wasn't right and I wasn't at my best. And I couldn't put a finger on it, and no amount of willpower and logically sitting down and writing down what I needed to do to get myself out of it was working. Intellectually I knew what I needed to do. And I didn't know why, and so oh Ian, that sounds like you're depressed. Well, you put a label on it, whatever you like. There's nothing wrong with me, but I just know that I was self-sabotaging in some areas of my life. That's for sure. So yeah, I'd just say there you go. Give it a go. Terry's got a bit of a no risk guarantee with I think the first session, Terry.
If you don't get a change in the first session, it's free of charge. And
you know, I'm not easy. I don't think I'm that easy to get money out of, but not that you ever tried to get me. In fact, I came to you. I said, tell me about more of your programs, and I asked for more, didn't I? Halfway through the first 7, I asked to jump into Unstoppable You. And I'm glad I did. And I believe that once you believe in something, you've just got to jump into it and commit.
Have we let you down at all in any of the things that we've done?
Oh, these are very. Well, I'm still here, Terry. I'm doing this video. I'm sticking my name and reputation on the results that I've seen. So, and I just said I've got my daughter, my wife, and one of the ladies I work with.
And you've seen changes with her.
Well, no, I've seen changes. I won't mention her name. It doesn't matter. I've seen changes in how she feels. She's indicated to me that she's loving it, and I have seen changes in her at work. Yes. But it's not even about me seeing changes, and I have. It's about how she feels about herself, and that's priceless.
And that also lifts the performance of your business too.
Well, sure it does. But I haven't put that person onto this program. That person, and I don't want to mention names because it doesn't matter. Has done it totally off their own bat, nothing to do with me. And so I'm not suggesting for a minute that you get other people to come and do this for you. They do it for themselves.
Definitely.
And that's the thing with my mate Bernard, is he didn't in any way try to get me to do it. He just told me about it, and so I picked up the baton on my own.
Now, is business different to what it was before you started to now?
The economy's not better or different, no. I mean, look, sales and business, they say it's all between the ears, and I'm not suggesting to you that all of a sudden we're going to break the Olympic gold record for, but the thing is that it all starts between your ears. And if you get up in the morning and you're positive, enthusiastic and ready to go, your whole world is just like that, instantly. That changes the direction and momentum. Whereas if you're feeling when you wake up a little bit sluggish and a little bit cloudy and a little bit pessimistic and a little bit negative because of other things that are going on with your brain, that makes all the difference. Try the Olympics are coming up soon. Try running for Olympic gold if you've got silly stuff going on in your brain. So your business is like that. It's like the Olympics. Every morning you wake up. What's the old saying? It's the two guys, something to do with the lion chasing them or whatever. You don't have to be faster than the lion. You just got to be in business. You just got to be faster than the other bloke. And it's a bit like that in business. A little competitive advantage here or there, if that's the difference between getting the sale or not getting the sale, and that magnifies over time. Then yes, it makes all the difference. So yeah, I'm an advocate, Terry. I'd recommend your programs to anyone that wanted to get an edge, to fine-tune their own thinking, perhaps with their relationships a little bit, although you can't change other people, but you can change, I guess, the way that you react with the world. You can change how you react to situations and circumstances. You can change your energy, you can change your level of optimism, and you can change your self-esteem and I guess your outlook on life. And I believe that your programs help me positively in all those areas.
Yeah, how good is that?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's... this was totally unscripted and ad hoc today. Terry, you had no idea what I was going to say, did you?
No.
You'll slip me that 50 afterwards, won't you?
1,000. But that's what I like about just doing videos like this. I don't edit them. People need to see that they're raw and that they're real life stories, and they'll either connect with it or they won't connect with it.
Yeah.
But the Unstoppable You changes people's lives, changes people's business direction, and also too stops the recession happening from in between the ears.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, happy. Thank you. Grateful that I got to do this, and at a time when I was looking for something. Grateful, and you're just down the road from me, so I like the fact that I don't have to fly and go somewhere to do this. I can slot it into my diary once a week. I can zip out of the office for an hour. I'm home 5 minutes or whatever after, and it's great.
So thank you very much, Sam.
My pleasure. Thank you.